Yes, people, it is Cam, and I am touching on 10 client acquisition myths that you 100% are guilty of. You're at least guilty of one of them. I think everyone, even I was once guilty of the last one, right? Before I jump into it, I want you guys to tell me if I've missed any out or which one is most prevalent for you, okay? Now, there are chapters in the description, but I recommend that you stay until the end because at the end, I'm going to tell you guys how to get past or how to change your client acquisition paradigms so you can sign loads of clients. Now, before we do jump into the video, when I sit down, I'm with my videographer. He's about to make this look excellent. But before I do that, who am I? Who am I to tell you how to sign clients? Well, I actually sign 2 to 3 clients per week for my agency. I'm someone who has scaled numerous agencies to 6 figures a month, meaning 7 figures a year. And yeah, I kind of do this. You can check my videos, you can check my background and my history and my stats, and you can Google me and you'll find hopefully lots of amazing things. So without any further ado, we are going to jump into the professional camera. I just wanted to introduce myself, make it a bit personable, you know, and I will see you around. Yes, people, as promised, I am on the computer now. Hopefully I look a little bit more high definition, but let's get straight into it. So everything that you know about client acquisition is wrong, and here's what actually works. Yeah, I know that you guys are getting your client acquisition wrong. That's why you're watching this video. Okay, so I know that. Now, if you are watching this, like I said in the introduction, I promise you, everyone at least believes the last one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on firstly the common misconceptions. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you guys how to actually shift your client acquisition paradigms, aka how to make mad bread, how to make loads of money. Okay, you need to shift your client acquisition paradigms to do so. Okay, now the first myth is that prospects don't want to be sold to. Now, I might have even said this before. If I have, I used to believe in the myth, but we are under the misconception that our prospects don't want to be sold to. It's not actually true. Ideally, our prospects actually want to believe what we say. And the reason I say that is because we want to believe that there's some comfort in the discomfort. Now, all of your prospects are in a certain level, have a certain level of discomfort, meaning they are somewhere that they don't want to be, right? Now, if you're somewhere that you don't want to be, you want to believe that you can get out. They want to believe that you're actually the solution. They want to believe that you're actually going to help them. This is the thing, right? We believe that no one wants to be sold to and people don't want a solution. They do. They just don't want to be sold to in a forceful way where it seems like you're more vested into your own interest than theirs. They do want to be sold to. They just want to believe in someone that's actually going to help them get to where they want to go. I promise you, your prospects want to be sold to, okay? They just want to be sold to in the right way, okay? Maybe I said that 3-4 times, but very, very, very important, right? They want to be sold to just in the right way, right? So they want to be sold to by someone like me who talks to them, understands them and knows exactly where they want to go, okay? Now, the second myth is that interest matters. Now, I wish that Trist was here. I might even maybe edit in a clip of Trist talking about interest. Interest doesn't matter. Now, that's a lie, it matters a little bit, but it doesn't matter much. Now, I had a call with a student of mine yesterday, and we were talking, and he was talking about his offer, and I said, yeah, hey bro, like how's things going? He said, yeah, do you know what? Things are going well. Like, I made 2 sales last week. I signed 2 clients last week. Things are going okay. And he's like, I know that this offer is amazing because, you know, anyone that hasn't bought, it hasn't been that like they weren't interested. It's just that, you know, the timing wasn't right, or, you know, it was just that they didn't have enough money, or all these other things. Now, what I said to him is I said, anyone that doesn't buy is never going to tell you that they're not interested in what you do. Very, very rarely are they. Now, I'll explain this. If you went into a shop, right, and you're looking at some trainers and you've been looking at them for a little while, you've got an interest for them, but you don't have the money to buy them, right? But you're interested in them. You have a look at them, you're interested, and the guy comes and he says, oh yeah, how do you think, like, do you want to buy the trainers? You might tell him some kind of excuse. You're not going to turn around and say, no, do you know what, these trainers are rubbish, man, and I'm not interested. Now, the reason I say that interest isn't important is because I'm interested in loads of things. It doesn't mean I'm going to give it my time, and it definitely doesn't mean that I'm going to give it my money. Now, we need to stop letting people gas us up and tell us that, and thinking that them being interested is actually going to make someone buy. Loads of people are going to be interested in this video. Loads of people follow me. Loads of people, barely anyone buys. You might make a video that gets 100,000 views. 100,000 people are interested in the topic you spoke about. About 100 people are going to buy. So we need to forget interest. Interest is not that important. Everyone's interested in everything. If it looks interested, if it looks interesting, we're interested. It doesn't mean someone's going to buy. My main thing is that buyers are liars, right? So everyone always tells you that they're interested in something. The only way to truly see if someone rates your product is if they actually give you money. If they don't give you money, they're not that interested. It's just something we say as human beings. There's a lot of things we say that we don't really mean. My main thing that I want you to take from this is at the end of a call, whenever you speak to someone, people are always going to tell you that they're interested in your product, because when was the last time you turned around and you told someone, do you know what, your offer's terrible and I hate you and you're ugly and this is the worst business in the world. We're never going to do that, right? We're going to say, no, I'm interested. I just don't know if I want to buy. Okay, so interest doesn't matter. Myth number 3, okay, is that your prospects buy your offer. Now, again, I'm kind of clickbaiting you guys up. Prospects do buy your offer, but they don't only buy your offer. Now, many people, we're in this zone, and it's the Hormozy zone, where the offer is the only thing that matters. Now, as always, I love Alex Hormozy. I think he's brilliant, but he's done a little bit of damage to the community. Now, because everyone's got a good offer, we think that people buy the offer. The offer is just the thing that piques the interest. What actually makes someone buy, someone's only actually going to buy if they are bought into your offer, which is one part, but they're also bought into you and your company. If they aren't bought into all three, they're not going to buy. Now, someone buying into you and buying into your company is normally the reason that people don't buy, because everyone has splendid offers nowadays. Everyone's offer is the best offer in the world, right? But the problem is that your prospects aren't bought into you and they're not bought into your company. Meaning, yes, your offer is good, but they don't believe that you're going to help them get there. Now, Alex Hormozy does talk about this, but many people lose it. So for someone to buy what you're selling to them, they have to have a high level of perceived likelihood of achievement. Meaning, your offer, yes, has to be good, but 2, they have to actually believe that you're going to help them achieve what you told them you were going to. Now, the reason I say that is because if people did buy offers, I'd be able to make an offer right now on the internet, and I'd be one of those spammy guys who, when you're scrolling through on a website that maybe you're not meant to be on, right, it will come up and it will say, hey, people in Dubai have just made £1 million today just by clicking this link. That's the best offer in the world. You're telling me I can make £1 million for clicking on a link. Why don't I click on that link? Now, the only reason I don't click on that link is because I'm not bought into the company or the person that's showing me the ad. I know that it's fake. I know that I'm not actually going to make the money by clicking on that link, right? Because of that, it's the same reason that people aren't buying into you. You're telling them you're going to help them make millions of pounds in 3 days. They just don't believe you. If they did believe you, they would buy into it, right? Now, that's what Belfort calls the 3 10s. Product or offer, if you will, company, and you, yeah? Don't forget those other 2 things. That's probably where you're losing a lot of your deals. Anyway, on to myth number 4. Your prospects care about your service. They do not. They don't care about your service, okay? All they care about is getting where they want to go to. That's all they care about. You guys don't really care about me from watching this video. You don't really care about how I'm delivering this message. You just want to learn how to acquire more clients. Same thing with your prospects, right? They don't actually care about your service. They don't care how you do it. They don't care. All they care about is if you do it. That's the only thing, right? I help people, B2B businesses, to build sales systems, right? Now, because of that, they don't care if I teach them how to door knock. They don't care if I hire them 100 sales reps that work on a commission-only basis and work that way. They don't care if I teach them how to go to networking events and make more money. They just want to make more sales. That's all they want to do. They don't care if it's Facebook ads, Snapchat ads, TikTok ads, all these other things, right? Now, we, especially people who have skills, Normally, this is for people who are extremely skilled. You think that people care so much about your skills. Unfortunately, they don't. The only thing that your service is good for, because I don't want to completely dismiss it, the only thing your service is good for is, again, touching on the service gives people a higher perceived likelihood of achievement. Now, that's a word that I can continue to say, and it's a little bit of a tongue twister. But if you talk about your service, if you show people how good at your service you are, if you break down the steps that are included in your service and you break it down very clearly, that increases the perceived likelihood of achievement. Meaning, if you show someone how you do something, they are more likely to believe that you can do it. That's the only thing that your service counts for. People don't buy into it. All that happens is they see your offer, then they see the service, they buy into the offer, they buy into you, they buy into your business, then they see, okay, this is how you do it, I believe that, I'm gonna buy. That's more so how a prospect thinks, okay? And the easiest way to do that is to think about how you think when you're doing something, right? Imagine if you had dirty shoes and all you want to find is a shoe cleaning service. You don't actually care how they clean your shoes. Like, you wouldn't actually care if they put it in the tumble dryer, in the washing machine. You wouldn't actually care if they put it in the washing machine. The only thing is, you might think, I've put it in the washing machine before and it didn't go so well. So it might make you believe that it's not going to work. Now, if I told you that what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand polish it and I'm going to do this and I'm going to make sure that it's perfect, and really I put it in the washing machine and gave it back to you, as long as the shoe was clean, you wouldn't actually care, okay? Same thing with your prospects. They don't care how you do it, they just care that it's done. Now, myth number 5. People think that complicated sales funnels are going to help them. Now, this is just a picture that I found, and it's crazy. I don't really understand it. It looks like a map of the tube. If anyone is from London, you will know what I mean. Complicated sales funnels, right? Now, I talk to a lot of businesses on a daily basis. At the moment, we book a lot of sales calls. I maybe jump on 3 to 4 sales calls a day. And a lot of the time, they just want these crazy funnels where someone's going to opt in, then an AI bot's going to message them, and then they're going to get a WhatsApp message from you, and then this is going to happen, and then they're going to get a message through the post, and all these different things. And it sounds great, and I get it. But if you're not at 20, 30, even that, if you're not at 100K a month, I'm going to say it like this, if you're not at 100K a month, you probably don't need a complicated funnel. And if you do need a complicated funnel to make someone buy, you're probably doing things wrong. Now, something I always say is that if you have to work extremely hard to make a sale, you're probably in the wrong business. Unless it's a sale for £10 million, in which case you make one of them a year and you're all good. If you have a service that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, £10,000, if you have to work really hard to make one sale, it's probably not that scalable, okay? So complicated sales funnels, I'm not a fan of them. Makes life way more difficult for you. The type of funnel that I would run, I've made a video about it. If I was selling something high ticket, I would have a simple lead magnet opt-in form. As soon as they opt in, I would redirect them to your value asset. I would send them a text to make sure that they watch the value asset. I would send them an email to make sure they watch the value asset. I would then get someone to give them a call to make sure they watch the value asset. And then get someone to book in and close them. I wouldn't really do much more than that until you're at 20, 30, 40K a month. It's just simple, right? It's simple. That's the exact system that we've run up, not with our own company, our own agency. The most it's ever done is 80K in a month. For us, we have run it up for clients to about 100K a month. So what I will say is that simple funnel, you may need a little bit more as you start to scale past 100K a month. But until 100K a month, please, guys, don't have a complicated sales funnel. Right? Just don't bother, okay? So, myth number 6 is that more leads equal more clients. More leads equal more clients. Now, a lead is worthless. And this is a little bit of my marketing angle. So if you see my landing page, you'll know that I think that leads are worthless. The reason I think leads are worthless is because you can't buy anything with a lead. You can't do anything with a lead. A lead actually has no value in life. And I find it funny when people say, oh, well, what's the cost per lead of your campaign? Well, cost per lead doesn't actually matter. What's the cost per acquisition? That's what actually matters. But we want to sound super smart, like, oh yeah, cost per lead. It doesn't matter. If I gave you a lead that was 100% likely to buy and it was £100, or I gave you a lead that was not likely to buy at all for £1, I'm taking those £100 leads. Especially because I actually want less leads. Anyone that actually runs a business, we don't want more leads. That's long, man. I don't want to talk to loads of people. I'd rather talk to 2 people a day and they buy. It's like booking more sales calls. I tell people we book loads of sales calls because you guys think it's a flex. I don't. I think closing clients is a flex. I don't want to have 30 sales calls in a day. That means I have to hire 3, 4 sales reps to take it. I'd much rather have 1, 2 sales calls or 5 sales calls and they all buy than have 30 and a few of them buy, right? So more leads don't equal more clients. There's a fine line between this. So leads are just phone numbers and emails of people. That's all a lead actually is. There's a phone number, an email, or contact details to a person. Now, I could scrape you today 1 million leads in your industry and it wouldn't cost you much. Do you want that? Like, do you want those leads? I don't. I don't use those type of leads. I don't scrape leads and get them. Instead, I want 20 leads a day of people that are actually interested in our business. Now, what I will say is if you go too far to the other end and you make flow super small, you probably won't be able to close any deals. But there's a fine line. Let's say this end is loads of leads, unlimited flow of leads, and this end is unlimited qualification of leads, meaning the leads are excellent. You don't want to go all the way this way and you don't want to go all the way that way. Instead, the fine line's normally somewhere in the middle. So more leads do not equal more clients. If anything, more leads equals more headache and it probably lowers the margins that you have, okay? Number 7. The myth number 7 is that you don't have to do that much. Now, I think that the biggest thing that I've noticed, and I can't make it seem like you guys are stupid because in things that I'm not an expert at, the same thing happens. But I think we massively underestimate how much work actually goes into something to actually be good at it. I've always thought that we don't understand how much work it actually takes to be good at something. So what will happen is you'll talk to people and they'll say, yeah, man, like I'm down to work and no drama, man. Like I'm a hard worker and like I can grind things. And you say, okay, cool. Then what happens is after 3 months, you might have taught them something and 3 months later they come back and they say, oh, brother, it's not working, like this is drama. We underestimate how much actually goes into things to be a success. So you probably underestimate how many emails it takes to send to actually get good at cold email. You probably massively underestimate how many sales calls it takes to actually get good at sales. You probably massively underestimate, or I do, actually let's flip the script back to me. I massively underestimated how many YouTube videos it took to record to 1, be good, and 2, get as many views as I wanted to. We massively underrate it. And we underrate it on 2 scales. Volume, which is just how many videos you make, or how many emails you send, or how many sales calls you take. And the second thing is timeline. So everybody thinks that if you send a lot of emails for a few months, you should make money. No, that's not how it works. For me to get good at client acquisition, when I first started, it was Upwork. For 2 years, I was on Upwork. Now, for the first 6 months, I applied to every single job that there was on Upwork. Every single one. And I still didn't make loads of money when I first started. I applied to every single one for 6 months and still didn't make money. Now, for most people, we'd think, Upwork doesn't work, or this doesn't work, or you don't work. That's not true. We just underestimate how much actually goes into it. Like, to sign clients, there's a lot that goes into it. We send 1,000 emails a day, 1,000 a day, and we do that indefinitely. So if you start by sending 200 a day or 100 a day, and you do it for 30 days, of course you're not going to sign any clients. Lots of stuff goes into this. These are things you have to be at every single day. Even to this day, I apply to every single job within my niche on Upwork, or our company does, every single day. That's something that we've been doing for a very long time. Like, guys, come on, man. So that's myth number 7. I would say that's one of the biggest ones. And the thing is, we might even deny that. Like I said, I still do it. I underestimate how much you have to do at the gym. Like how long you have to go to the gym for to be in your perfect shape, how long you have to eat healthily for to be in perfect shape. We underestimate all these things. Anyway, myth number 8, you don't need to get on sales calls. This is a bit of a personal one as well. I don't know why people think they don't need to get on sales calls. If you had to send someone money that you don't know, would you do it without jumping on a sales call? That's always the question that I ask. Do you know what's even more interesting? I will talk to a business owner who's on a sales call with me, talking about their business, and they'll say, do you know what it is? Yeah, my product's like 10 grand, but I don't want to jump on a sales call with anyone. And I say to them, okay, cool. We charge for our build and release 15 grand. Would you have sent me 15K without talking to me? And they're like, no, I just wanted to talk to you. But and I think, well, why are you any different? Like, unless you have this mad personal brand, no one's going to buy something without talking to you. They're just not. I'm sorry, guys. And I wish they would. Like, I wish I didn't need to get on sales calls. I don't always want to jump on sales calls. I wish that people would just go on my landing page and just send me 250 grand. I wish they would do that. But unfortunately, they don't. You have to jump on sales calls, okay? That is part of it. Now, I would recommend that you personally jump on sales calls, but if you don't want to pay for your sales with time, you can pay for your sales with money, in the sense of you can hire a sales rep. But somebody has to pick up the phone and somebody has to close these deals. The deals, the leads, the prospects, they do not close themselves, and they will not close themselves. If you want to stand by this, that you don't want to jump on sales calls, that's fine. But what's going to happen is someone that's hungry like me, or someone that works in our team, is going to call your prospects and they're going to pay us money instead of you. So you can keep not jumping on sales calls, but when they end up sending Mr. Okomi money, don't be upset, okay? So, myth number 9. Now, myth number 9 is, I don't think it contradicts myth number 8. You do have to jump on the phone, but myth number 9 is that it's all about how good you are at sales. Cap, not true. It is not. I actually think, and this is for another day, but I think in most businesses, being good at sales is overrated. And they're going to slaughter me for that, and Trist will slaughter me for that. I don't care. I'm standing on this post where I am. How good you are at sales is not the number one thing that actually dictates how many clients you sign. Having better testimonials than someone, having better service delivery than someone, having a better pre-sale process than anyone, sending more outreach than everyone, spending more on paid traffic and having a better funnel than everyone, making more content than everyone. Those things are going to make you money quicker than being good at sales will. Maybe not quicker, actually, tell a lie, but they will make you more money than being good at sales will. Okay? Now, my thing is, if you're the best salesperson in the world, but all you have is your phone, that's all you do, you cold call all day, versus me, who's a good salesperson, not the best salesperson in the world, but I'm a good salesperson, who spends money on paid traffic, has an excellent funnel, has an excellent pre-sales, has an excellent sales system overall, right? I'm not going to go into everything that is. But if I have an excellent sales system, me, and you are the best salesperson in the world, but all you have is your phone, who do you think is going to make more money? The answer is going to be me, because I'm leveraging different things. I'm going to be able to book, let's say I book 8 sales calls a day from the system that I use, you can book 2, because there's only so much time in the day. Now, whoop-de-doo, you close 50%. Go you, best salesperson in the world. Let's say I close 30%. Now, I'm not the best mathematician in the world, but I believe that 30% of 8 is higher than 50% of 2, okay? So it's not just about how good you are at sales. Being good at sales is helpful, but I would argue that being good at sales is worth it, but becoming the best salesperson in the world, I would actually argue probably isn't worth it as an entrepreneur, of course. If you're just a sales rep, be the best sales rep in the world. If you're an entrepreneur, being good at sales is beneficial, but being overly good at sales is probably unnecessary, because for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn how to make a load of money. I'm going to build out a fantastic sales system, and I'll be able to do that because I'm good at sales. I'll be able to make enough money to hire the best sales rep rather than becoming the best sales rep myself as an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's myth number 9. Now, myth number 10, and I believe this is the myth that everybody falls for. And that is, that acquiring clients is hard. That is the last myth. It's that acquiring clients is hard. Now, don't hate me for putting this in there. I want to talk about this. If acquiring clients is hard, something is going wrong. Now, you're doing something wrong because it's not meant to be hard. I'm not saying it's meant to be simple, okay? But I'm not saying it's not meant to be simple. No, that's not true. I'm not saying that the process is simple, but it's definitely not hard, okay? Now, what I mean by that is acquiring clients isn't necessarily easy, but it is a simple process. Now, I'm going to touch a little bit on it, but my main thing is that when you want to buy something, it's not hard to make yourself a client. It's really not. Think about when you want to buy something and you actively actually want something, you go and buy it. You go and do that thing. If you want to lose weight, you go and seek a personal trainer. It's not actually meant to be a difficult process. And if it is too difficult of a process, you're doing something wrong, okay? Now, the list of things that can be wrong is a never-ending list. So it's too difficult for me to say what's going wrong, but you're doing something wrong, okay? Acquiring clients is not difficult, I promise you, once you know what to do, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to touch on why acquiring clients is easy and how it's easy. So that's the second stage of this video. The first step was touching on all the myths. The second step, like I promised, is actually changing your paradigms, your sales paradigms, so you can start to acquire clients on tap and you can make life easy and you can have a smile on your face and you can make money and you can buy your girlfriend all those designer bags that she's been sending you on Instagram. Maybe if everyone, I get that. Maybe you guys don't get that. So, how to shift your client acquisition paradigm. Now, the paradigm that you're in, if you're watching this video, is that client acquisition is hard. And don't say that it's not, because that's probably why you're watching this video. You're watching this video because you have a problem and you want to solve that problem, okay? So we need to shift your acquisition paradigm, okay? Now, the first thing is that you probably care too much about yourself. That's one of the biggest ones. You care too much about yourself. So client acquisition isn't about you, it's about your prospects. Yeah? It's not actually about you. Sorry, one moment. Phone's ringing. We can even keep this part in. Don't even need to get rid of this. That's how natural this video is. Yeah? Sorry about that. As I was talking about the missus asking me for things, I was getting a phone call. Anyway, so client acquisition isn't about you, it's about your prospects. Okay, I'm going to touch on this. Let's see if it went over 2 slides. No, it didn't. Okay, cool. Perfect. So the problem that everyone makes is they think about themselves. So people, and a lot of people do this, they will think, what am I good at? Well, you know, I'm good at Facebook ads. Okay, brilliant. My clients want Facebook ads. Who said they want Facebook ads? Never once in my life have I woken up and do you know what I want? I want Facebook ads. No, no one did. No one actually wants Facebook ads. They want clients. Now, the way you get them clients might be through Facebook ads, or they want sales, and the way you get them sales is through Facebook ads, or they want views, and the way that they don't even want views, they want exposure, and the way that you get them exposure is through Facebook ads. But they don't want Facebook ads. Again, this is a bigger problem, and this is what I was touching about a bit on where they don't care about your service. This happens mainly for people with skills. Like, the better you are at something, normally the more self-esteem you attach to it and the more you talk about it. But they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the skills that you have. They just want this problem solved. That is all they want. They just want more sales in their company. They just want to look excellent on YouTube. They don't actually care about your editing software and all this other stuff, which is what most people talk about. It is instead about your prospects. And the way that I want you to think about this, I want you to install this into everything you do. So instead of talking about you so much and what you do, think about what your clients want. Like, actually just think carefully, what do your prospects want? And if you don't know what they want, then find out what they want. And the way you find out what they want is you ask them, you go to market, you talk to people. And if you don't know what they want, you shouldn't be going to market yet. Like, you shouldn't be building something out if you don't know what your prospects want, because it's never going to make you money. You find out what your prospects want. Now, yes, granted, you might just do it through trial and error, but guys, please find out what your prospects want. Now, these things change over time. You need to change the angle, change how you're approaching these things. So the way that you do it is you find out, what do they want? So I want you to ask yourself, What problems are they facing? What's your target audience? What's your prospects? What problems are they facing? What do they want to hear from you so that they feel understood? Not what do you want to say. What do they want to hear from you? What do they want to hear? How do they want you to help them? Like, actually, how? How? And that is what your service should be around. So I talk to lots of business owners who over-productize their systems. They have these lengthy onboarding things. They have all these different AI features and all these different methods. And even, for example, there's a load of things that people do that they don't help the client. So, for example, I work with the guys that help me do my YouTube content, and I love them. They're fantastic. They've helped me a load. But when I first started working with them, they added in all these procedures that were like to help me. And I was like, I don't really like that. This isn't really that helpful for me. Like, I don't really want to do this stuff. Now, they're very savvy businessmen. So because of that, I gave them feedback because I appreciate them, and they changed it, which was sick. But what most people do is they build these challenging different things because they can, and they think, do you know what my client wants? Is he wants this? No. Figure out what your client wants. How do they want help? And help them in that way. You don't need to go above and beyond. Next thing is, how do they want to pay? How do they want to pay? Don't overcomplicate your payment structures. How do they want to pay? Now, I fell for this trap. I was watching some Serge Guattari videos, and I decided that I needed to build a build and release for my clients. My clients didn't really want build and releases. If I think about it myself logically, my client has just met me today. They don't know who I am. So why would they want to pay the most money on day one when they don't know who I am than they do on day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 once they do know who I am? Instead, I realized that my clients want the payment structures broken down because they don't know me yet. So yes, I want them to pay me 15K, but they don't know me yet. So instead, their thing is, well, do you know what, Cam? I don't really know you, so why don't I pay you 3K on day one? Then after month one, after I've worked with you for the month, why don't I pay you 7K then? Or why don't I pay you the rest of the 12K then? That makes sense because that's what they want. They don't want to pay all in right now. Not many people do. If you've just met someone and you don't know for sure if you trust them yet, now they know to an extent, but they don't fully know. Do you want to pay them the whole lump sum, or do you want to pay them half and half? Now, I just listened to my clients. They started to say like, oh, do you have any payment structures? Do you have any? That made me realize that's what they want. So I worked with them. Who do they want to work with? Position yourself as someone that they trust. So what type of person do they want to work with? You become that person. That's what you do. What type of people do they want to buy in? People buy into confidence and clarity, so be that type of person. What outcome do they want? That's why I was talking about what problems are they facing? What do they want? What outcome? Talk about the outcome that they want. Show them how you'll help them get to their outcome, and don't show them anything else because they don't care, right? What's a buying process that they enjoy? Make the process seamless. Do they want to get on an onboarding call? Do they want to? Not do you want to. Granted, if there's things you need to do, you can do them. But what do they want? If they want to get on an onboarding call, do they want to talk to an appointment setter? Do they want to talk to customer service? Do they just want to go straight through the funnel and buy on their own? Figure out these things. What do they want? Okay? I know I've been stressing this, but this is so important. Okay? Now, if you can build your client acquisition process around these questions, you can make your prospects want you. Don't chase them. You can make them want you. And if they want you enough, then you can make them want to do what you want them to do. And that is what client acquisition is. If they want you enough, if your prospects want you enough, you make them pay you money because they want you. Yeah? They want you. The same thing with girls. Same thing, if you're a man and you want girls to like you, you can go out and you can chase all these girls and do all these things. Or you can just sit there and think, well, what do girls want? Well, girls like a man who's confident. Okay, I'll be confident. They like a man with, I don't know, a six-pack. They like a man who's rich. Get those things. And then what you do is you go out into the world and you talk to girls. I'm not saying they'll just flock to you. You talk to them, but now you have what they want. And you have what they want so much that they'll do now what you say to get them. They will give you what you want if they want you. Same thing with your prospects. Now, what I want my prospects to do is send me loads of money. That's what I want them to do. So I have to make them want me. And the way that I do that It's through all these things that I touched on. I'm getting passionate because this process changed my life. If you make your clients want you or your prospects want you, then you can get them to send you loads of money. That's literally what this is for. I make my prospects want me, and they want me so much that their thing is, I really want you. Let me send you money so I can work with you. That is what you need to do. So yes, people, it's been Cam. If you like the video, give it a like. Like I said, if there's any myths that I missed out or there's any myths that you have bought into, drop me a comment. And if there's any questions that you have, as always, either drop me a comment or shoot me a message on Insta. And that has been Cam. I will see you in the next one. Bye.